that it's very, very difficult to do combat in. Unless there's a good choke point where it funnels only one enemy at a time, it becomes a bit of a task. But we are almost at our destination. The city just feels empty. And it's like really, like that's probably more eerie part about it. So right now, like, I know there's something in there. I know. Oh. Oh. Security. Okay. Diamond City.
What's that?
Blue.
Looking for Diamond City? Just follow the signs.
Oh, okay. Um. The fuck is that?
Keep moving, Scabber.
What do you mean you can't open the gate? Stop playing around, Danny. I'm standing out in the open here for crying out loud.
I got orders not to let you in, Miss Piper. I'm sorry. I'm just doing my job.
Ooh, just doing your job. Protecting Diamond City means keeping me out, is that it? Oh, look, it's the scare.
I'm not sure about this.
Boo.
I'm sorry, but Mayor McDonough's really steamed, Piper. Saying that article lies. The whole city's in a tizzy.
Ugh. You open this gate right now, Danny Sullivan. I live here. You can't just lock me out. I'm listening, Danny. Open the gate. You want in? Right.
What?
Shh. Play along. What's that? You said you're a trader up from Quincy? You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month? You hear that, Danny? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
Jeez, all right. No need to make it personal, Piper. Give me a minute.
Better head inside quick before old Danny catches on to the bluff.
This place, Diamond City. What is it?
Oh, the Green Jewel? She's a sight. Everyone who's anyone in the Commonwealth is from here, settled here, got kicked out of here. A big wall, Some power, working plumbing, schools, and some security goons are what make Diamond City the big monster it is. Oh, love it or hate it. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Piper, who let you back inside? I told Sullivan to keep that gate shut. You devious, rabble-rousing slanderer. The level of dishonor in that paper of yours. I'll have that printer scrapped for parts.
That a statement, Mr. McDonough? Tyrant mayor shuts down the press. Why don't we ask the newcomer? You support the news? Because the mayor's threatened to throw free speech in.
What newspaper are you talking about?
Mine. Public Occurrences. And we're the hard look at the truth. So are you with us or not?
Always believed in freedom of the press.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring you into this argument, good sir. No. Oh, you look like Diamond City material. Welcome to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Safe, happy, a fine place to come. Spend your money, settle down. This muckraker here tell you otherwise.
Okay. You two arguing.
What are you two arguing about, anyway?
What do you think? Print lies and everybody's happy, but if you print the truth...
Now, was there anything particular you came to our city for?
I'm trying to find someone.
Trying to find someone? Who?
My son, Sean. He's less than a year old.
Wait, your son's missing? Oh, you hear that, McDonough? What's Diamond City Security doing to help this man, huh? This isn't the first missing persons report to come through here, and now we have an infant who's been taken?
Don't listen to her. Well, I'm afraid that our security team can't follow every case that comes through. I'm confident that you can find help here. Diamond City has every conceivable service known to man. One of our great citizens can surely find the time to help you.
Well, sure. And a mayor of a great city must know everyone. Who can help me?
Well, there is one private citizen, Nick Valentine, a detective of sorts who specializes in tracking people down, usually for debts or whatnot. Now, I have to get going. I'm sorry, Diamond City Security doesn't have time to help, but I'm sure Mr. Valentine charges a reasonable fee.
This is ridiculous. Diamond City Security can't spare one officer to help. I want the truth, McDonough. What's the real reason security never investigates any kidnappings?
I've had enough of this, Piper. From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for. I'm impressed. Not everyone can claw information out of McDonough's tight-fisted hands. Why don't you stop by my office after you see Valentine? I think I just found my next story.
Head on inside.
Alright. People rumored that there would be no loading screens, but, you know, there isn't. And also, what the fuck? I'm trying to be straight up honest with people, trying to find Son. Because, somebody's gotta notice something. And that I'm hoping that they realize, whoever took the kid, realizes that I'm looking for him. And that I'm out here.
Well, hello.
Free paper to newcomers. If the Institute grabs you in the night, at least we warned you.
The Institute?
You ain't heard of the Institute, mister? They snatch people up in the night and no one hears from them again. It's all in the paper. Better read up before they grab you, too.
Who's gone missing?
Drifters, residents, stadium seat snobs. Seems every year or so, someone's gone, and we all know why. So you better be careful, newcomer. The Institute is out there, and they'll grab you too. Like I said, it's all in the paper.
I believe you. Thanks.
You're a real lost lamb in the wolf's den, mister. Piper, you're back.
Hey, kiddo. How are the paper sales?
Well, the presses are getting overloaded. That motor is going to go soon if we don't replace it.
You've been saying that for weeks and the old girl still keeps cranking. Stop worrying so much. I gotta head into the office. You start whistling if you see any angry politicians coming our way.
Why? Is something wrong? Piper? The latest news from the Commonwealth.
Diamond City Market.
Anyone is one of those things. It's that secretary of his, her and her perfect hair.
Mm-hmm. The mayor's secretary. Come on, Ma. I cut her hair myself, and I know human hair.
That's just it, Johnny. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. You nick McDonough with your razor, he'd bleed.
Newcomer, huh?
Don't
Talk to Abbott at the wall if you want a history lesson.
Hairstyle. Or stand.
Whoa, put that away. So I got a new data thing. Huh. Okay. Okay. Noodles, we all eat them, we all love them. Diamond City's Power Noodles has supplied this sustenance for past 15 years from stilted merchant cadence I can barely read this, oh my fucking god. Takeshi's program Japanese to the fragrant steam that wafts from each bowl to the scalding tang of each delicious mouthful. The ordering and eating of noodles is but one of many shared human experience. Or is it? I was struck by this very question as I sat at the counter of Power Noodles last Wednesday night, just after 5 p.m., enjoying a dinner had so many times before. That's when I noticed our very own mayor, McDowell, sidle up to a stool and engage in the very same ritual. Right hand extending, mouth opening, teeth chewing, yes, eating noodles, the shared experience of almost every Diamond City resident. So it must have almost seemed to the resident of Diamond City, nearly 60 years ago on an uncharacteristically warm May evening in 2229 as they sat around this very same counter. But that was before the days of Takeshi and his noodles, when the bar served not noodles but ice-cold Nuka-Cola, frothy beers, and stiff shots of whiskey. The barman's name was Henry, and that night he fra- facilitated the shared human experience of drinking, smoking. Oh, facilitated the shared human experience of drinking, smoking, talking, and laughing, that is, until tragedy struck. There aren't many among us who are even old enough to remember that, even although some of the city's ghoul residents certainly could have, had they not been forcibly removed, thanks to Mayor McDowell's anti-ghoul decree of 2282, but there is one person among us who does remember distinctly the events of that evening. Respected matriarch Estence Hawthorne, who recounted her story in a public occurrences exclusive interview. "Oh, I was there all right, sitting right at the bar, sure as you're sitting in front of me now. 22 years old or so, and just looking to have a good time. I was safe behind the wall, we all were, so what was the harm? And let me tell you that Mr. Carter made it easy. He came into town earlier that day, said he was from out west. Somewhere, he was out west somewhere. It didn't really matter. What did matter was his smile and his laugh, and the way he'd make everyone feel at ease. That night at the bar, we all just sort of crowded around him. Everyone wanted to exchange a word or hear about this state of the Commonwealth. And Mr. Carter, he was all too happy to oblige. It was just so wonderful until it wasn't." Eustace continued her account of that evening, and the moment when things turned to sinister, and the truth about Mr. Carter was revealed. "We'd been drinking, carrying on, must have been 3 hours. Mr. Carter had 4 or 5 drinks that time. He seemed a bit drunk, I guess, like the rest of us. Then something just sort of happened. He was smiling, but the smile sort of went from his face all in an instant, and then his cheeks started twitching, kind of funny, and I remember watching him clear as if it happened just yesterday. He reached inside his coat, took out a revolver, and then blam! He shot Henry, the barman, right in the head. Didn't hesitate, didn't show any emotion. Mr. Carter killed Henry as casually as if he were paying him for a drink. But his cheek never did stop twitching. Let me tell you all, hell broke loose after that." What Eustace is describing is, of course, the infamous event known as the Broken Mask, when the people of Commonwealth learned for the first time that Institute, the shadowy scientific organizations responsible for the creation of combat androids, had actually succeeded in creating a model so advanced it could effortlessly infiltrate human society. Unbeknownst to the people of Diamond City, the Institute had somehow evolved their androids into true synthetic humans, synths. After he shot Henry, that Mr. Carter shot 3 or 4 other people, too. Like I said, all hell broke loose. The guards came running, they opened fire, and Mr. Carter, he kept shooting and throwing people around left and right. Finally, those guards put him down. Seemed like they had killed a man who had flipped his lid, gone crazy, and he lay there like a dead, crazy man. Sure enough, God, it was horrible, but then we saw the plastic and the metal. This was one of them early synths, you see, and we realized it wasn't a man at all. It was then we all knew the Institute wasn't just out there, the Institute was everywhere now, among us. It was never determined precisely why the synth known as Mr. Carter went on his killing sprees. Some suggested he had somehow been remotely controlled by the Institute, who wanted to test his combat effectiveness. Still, others felt he had simply malfunctioned. Hypothesis supported by the twitching cheek, and was never meant to kill anyone, but at that time the why hardly seemed important. What mattered was the humans of Commonwealth had been truly infiltrated by an organization whose intentions and motivations were and still are completely mystery, using a model of synth even less advanced than the ones the Institute's service